By the end of this video, you will know how to export real-size patterns from CLO 3D. Then place that pattern onto a 24 inches template in Adobe Illustrator. I will show you two options on how to export real-size patterns as Adobe PDF and using print layout in CLO 3D. Then create a 24 inches template in Adobe Illustrator. After that, placing the pattern onto the template. Are you ready? Let's do it. Hi, I'm Rose Billy from encoderfashion. Okay, to export this pattern, first I'm going to create a new fabric. To create a new fabric, I'm going to come over here to the object browser, and right below that is add. Click on it. Next, I'm going to name that fabric all pattern pieces. Then I'm going to press return or enter on the keyboard to confirm. Next, I'm going to go to the transform pattern tool, click one to select. Then I'm going to marquee select all these pattern pieces and come to the all pattern pieces fabric and click on the twirling arrow to apply the fabric. As you can see, we just apply that fabric onto all these pattern pieces. So after we apply the fabric, I want to point out that we can also export this as a plotter file as well. To do that, I'm going to come over here to the simulation window, click on it. Then hover the mouse to this print layout. Okay. We want to select the pattern that we want to export as a plotter file, okay? So by default, as you can see here, is the first draft, which is we do not want to export that. We want to export all pattern pieces. Click on that for this to display. The fabric width is 44 inches. If you come over here to the property editor right there, and you just scroll the mouse down here, and you see this right here under roll, you can change the width to either 55, 58, 60 inches, however you like. However, do not choose custom fabric width, okay? Because I will show you later in this video that function at the moment doesn't really work, okay? So please just choose the default one like 44 or 55, however you like. I'm going to select the most common one in the US, which is 58 inches. Then I'm going to right click on this background right here and select all nest pattern. And I'm going to click on proceed. Okay, so as you can see right here, this is the preview that we just select proceed, okay? There's a couple of things I want to point out. So this is happened to like lay out perfect because I want this, you see right here, this facing for the lapel, I wanted a bias cut. Before I can move any pattern pieces in here, I have to come over here to this nest all pattern and select close first, okay? Then, now I have the option to click and then move these pattern pieces to wherever I like to be arranged, okay? So, first of all, the sleeve lays perfectly because we want the sleeve to be long grains, and also the front bodice and another front bodice as well as the back bodice. However, right here, this is important. So happen to be bias. You see right here, this lay fabric is bias, which is perfect. If I decided I want this to be long grain, I have to rotate this. You see this long grain pop up right there. So I'm going to rotate it until it hit the long grain like this, okay? However, I don't want to. I want this facing right here are cut on bias. So I will point out when we export this as a PDF format, okay? So right now I'm going to just Control Z. Okay, so by the way guys, even though we need to export this as a plotter file, you must come in here and arrange the pattern the way you like it first before it come out the way you want it, okay? Just like I showed you earlier, you create the fabric, you apply all the fabric into all these pattern pieces, and then you arrange the pattern to fit the way you want it. After that, I'm going to just come over here to File now, and I'm going to export it. See right there, plotter. And once again, show all line checks. And right here, I check certain box, which is pattern annotation, grain lines, 2D measurement. Then I'm going to click Save. Okay, so this is right here, export as plotter, and I'm going to name it Elegant Red Dress, okay, and underscore. Then navigate to the folder you want to save and then click on Save. So if you export it as a plotter file, for example, like I showed you earlier, you can only use certain application to open this file and view. So the application that can open that file is Autodesk, AutoCAD, etc. So I will show you why you should not use the custom fabric width enclosed via print layout. So these are 3 results that I came with, okay? So I ran a first test with 24 inches right here, the 24 inches width, which is I use a custom setting in CLO, and I exported as 1:1 ratio. And as you can see right here, my pattern cutoffs. And the next result here, I also use a custom setting, 24 inches fabric width, then exported at 24, okay? 24 inches, which is the printing template. You will see when you try to save the fabric as this is what it comes with. You either select the US letter, the A4 paper size, or the 24 format. And here, this is the result. As you can see, the pattern down below here, right there, okay? Also cut off. Next, the third result right there. I did the 24 inches, once again, custom fabric width, and exported as letter, okay? And here, as you can see, the pattern cut off as well. However, if you guys find the result about what is wrong with that custom setting under the fabric width, please share, leave us comment right below the video. We would appreciate it. And I will show you more with the one that you can use, okay? I also ran a few more tests right here by using the default fabric roll, okay? So let me show you. This is the 44-inch fabric width that default enclosed. So I exported as letter, and as you can see, the pattern came out perfect. All in the range, no cutoff, no nothing. Next, the 55 inches fabric width, again, I printed out as, I exported out as letter. Once again, everything came in perfect. No cutting, no missing match. It's all in one sheet, okay? Next, the 58 inches, okay? So the 58 inches as well came out perfect. No pattern cut off, no nothing. So as a result, I recommend use the default one and not the custom one. Next, I'm going to show you how to export this pattern as a PDF format, okay? So to export this pattern as a PDF format, I'm going to right click, okay? on this background right here, and I want to select show texture grid repeat. Then I'm going to right click again, and this time I'm going to select all nest pattern. Okay, this time instead of have the buffer spacing is 0, I'm going to type in 0.5. Okay, I will explain to you a little bit about why I want spacing between this pattern. For example, I want to crop this pattern so I can place it on Adobe templates, okay? Because, once again, let me close this so I can actually, oh, by the way, guys, you can click this proceed as many times as you want to rearrange. Every time you select proceed, let me show you. I'm going to click on proceed one more time, and you will see the pattern will shift, okay? Okay, see how the pattern shift from here to there? And I'm going to right now click close on this, okay? Okay, so go back to why I want spacing between pattern pieces. This is for me to crop and organize it when I bring it in Adobe Illustrator. And this is for home printer, not for manufacturer, okay? So what happened, I want space between each pattern, so easy for me to go in and crop it and rearrange the pattern later on, okay? So, okay, go back to the pattern pieces. If this is still the same, I want this to be bias cut, perfect. And the sleeve cuts, I want it to be cross grain, and the bodice and the sleeve, I want it to be long grain, which is perfect. Next, I'm going to come over here to this print layout, click on it. I want to change back to simulation before I'm going to export this as a PDF, okay? So I'm going to come back over here to file, click on it, then come to export again, guys, and then hover the mouse to the right and select Adobe PDF. And I'm going to name, once again, Elegant Red Dress. I can name the same name, no problem, because we have different extension file. Once again, navigate to the folder that I'm going to save to. Then I'm going to click on save. Okay, this is important. All right. We want to be sure this is in millimeter and 100%. You do not want to change the percentage, okay? You want to export 100% and you want to do not rotate. And right here, this is, you have the option, either you want it to keep it 5 centimeter margin, or you can do it less, but I like it to be 5 centimeter. Once again, this is for home pattern printer, which it's easier for me to crop it out and alter it in Adobe Illustrator. Okay, and next right here, you come to option, check that show lines box just like that, and show image. Once again, I want to check that fabric texture, I want graphics. Then show all information, I want to check pattern annotation, line length, grain lines, and 2D measurement. After that, I'm going to click on OK. Okay, so I'm going to show you the file that we just export, okay? So as you can see, this is the plotter file we export earlier, and this is the PDF file that we export the second time. Next, I'm going to show you how to export this file using print layout, okay? So it's kind of get easier when we first start to export anything, guys. Always started with create a fabric and then apply that fabric onto the pattern pieces, so you can get well organized. And not only that, you will print everything in all one fabric, okay? Alright, so next I'm going to show you how to export this pattern using print layout. To do that, once again, come over here to simulation, click on it, and then hover the mouse down to print layout and click on that. Okay, this is right here. So by default, okay, I have a first draft pattern. That's what we don't want. So, and you look to the right, here I have this fabric, and that fabric label exactly like here, because those fabric, when I first draft the pattern, I use that fabric. Then I create another fabric right here. See right there, when I click on it, come over here. We have all the pattern pieces in here. Okay, so as you can see, let me zoom out a little bit so you can see better. Okay, the fabric width is 58, which is perfect. And I'm going to, once again, guys, it's already arranged everything perfect. So I'm going to just come over here to save image. And then I'm going to select letter. Okay, so one of you have this question that why when we set it as letter or A4, for example, this one letter, and why when we export it come in one piece, one giant piece? Okay, the answer to that is this pattern, even though we export it as letter, for example, you need to have the template to go with it to print it as either US letter or A4 paper size and so forth, okay? So this is, go back to the settings. So under size, be sure this resolution is 300 and 8.5 by 11 is perfect. Portrait, that's perfect. And under option, the show line box checks, okay? And then come down here. It just means like checks everything, and that's what we want. And right here, under show image, I want to check graphic texture, the same, and pattern annotation, line length, grain line, and scroll down a little more. You will see this 2D measurement. Also check, that's important, okay? Because we want to see all these measurement right there. Okay, next I'm going to click on save. Once again, I'm going to name it Elegant Red Dress. Then I'm going to come down here. The file is PNG, perfect. And I'm going to click on save. So next, I'm going to create a 24 inches template for a home plotter, which is answer to Lando question. Once again, I'm not familiar with the plotter, but I am really good with creating template in Adobe Illustrator. And if you have the Illustrator, you can actually create the template that fit your plotter, okay? And I will show you how to do that, Lando. However, right now, I'm going to try to figure out how much fabric length that we need. And CLO actually can do that for me, okay? So I'm going to come over here to custom, like under property editor, and come to width and go to custom. Once again, guys, I'm not using this at all because it's not working. I'm just using this to check how much fabric or how much the artboard length that I need for the template. So to do that right here, I'm going to change the width to custom, and I'm going to type in 24 inches, okay? Then I'm going to press return enter on the keyboard to confirm. Then I'm going to come over here, right click, and once again select nest all pattern. Then I'm going to once again just hover that over, and I'm going to change the buffer spacing to 0.5, and I'm going to click on proceed. Okay, next I'm going to move this nest all pattern out of the way a little bit so you can see right here. Okay, so I'm going to click close. All right. Okay, so as you can see, the width is 24 inches and the length is 3.28 yards. Okay, so I'm going to come down here to Google and I'm going to type in 3.28 yard 2 inches. Okay. Then the result come to inches is 118.08. Okay. So after that, I'm going to come to Adobe Illustrator. Okay. Then I'm going to come over here to create new, click on it. Then I'm going to come over here to print, click on it. And you have several templates here that you can select. I'm going to select letter. Okay. Then come over here. I'm going to name the file. Okay. 24 IN by, let's say it was 118. I'm going to get 119 inches. And then I'm going to change this to inches, okay? Right there. I'm going to, right here, highlight it and type in 24 IN. And I'm going to press on the tab key. And then the tab key again and type in 119 IN. After that, I'm going to press on the tab key. And I want that portrait, which is perfect. And the artboard, I only wanted one artboard, okay? After that, bleed. So I want the bleed to be 0.25 IN, which is perfect. And I'm going to press down the tab key, and now all bleed is perfect. And color, CMYK color, perfect. High resolution, 300 ppi, and then default mode. I'm going to come over here, click on more setting. Okay. So right here, you want to double check, make sure the bleed is 2.5. So when you print out, it won't cut off your pattern, okay? Next, I'm going to, or even when you want to take it to a store. In this case, for you, Lando, you want to print it with your 24 inches plotter, okay? So I'm going to select create. There it is. So this is the 24 inches template that we just created, okay? Next, I'm going to show you how to place your pattern onto that template. Okay, so this is cool, guys. There's something I want to point out, okay? You can either place the pattern on here. Let me show you. So I'm going to File, come to Place, click on it. And you can select either one of these patterns. Of course, you can't open the plotter file. But again, you can open this PDF, this PNG, no problem. So let's say I want to import this PDF file, okay? I'm going to click on it and then come over here. Be sure this link box is checked. Then click on Place, okay? Then I'm going to hover that mouse over and I'm going to click one to place that pattern. Okay, let me zoom out just a little bit. Command or Control minus. And so by default, I have this selection tool is selected. If not, just be sure you come over here to this black arrow tool, click on it. That allows you to click and then move your pattern to wherever you like, okay? So let me zoom in. All right. So you see right here, this is what I want to point out earlier. When we arrange the pattern, this is what we want. You see this green line here? When you crop and place that pattern onto a pattern, the customer will see this is a bias. You're supposed to cut on bias, okay? And as well as over here, you see right here, this is you cut on long grain because once again, this grain line is represent what direction of the fabric that a customer should cut, which is perfect, okay? That's why we want to arrange the pattern the way, however, we like for a customer to identify, okay? And okay, this is important, guys. All right. So when I place the pattern into this template, if I come over here to the right, the pattern came in one layer, guys. If you want to alter this pattern or to have more option to add to this pattern, I recommend you select and open this pattern width. Okay, so let me show you. So I'm over here right now. I'm going to my Finder, okay? And this is the same PDF pattern that I exported earlier, right? I'm going to click on it. Right click. And then select Open With, okay? Come down here to Adobe Illustrator. Click on it. And you're going to wait for a little bit. Okay, this is important. So when you try to open try to open that pattern with Adobe, this missing font window pop up. Don't be alarmed. All you need to do is just click on that Find Font, okay? Then here this thing pop up, a huge file of course. Next, I'm going to select Arrow, and then I'm going to come over here to change all, click on it. And as you can see right here, the font changed from reddish to perfect clear to read. That's what we want. Then I'm going to click on Done. Okay? Okay, this is important. Let me zoom out. Command or Control plus minus. Okay. So now you see this pattern right here? Came in with hundreds of layer. Okay. And if you want to find out, you come over here to this layer panel, click on it. And you see right here, this is so many layers that came in. However, this is perfect if you want to go in, let's say, let me zoom in to close up, okay? Okay. Let's say I look at this sleeve and certain line is not dark enough. I want to actually, hey, make the line darker or however I like to do. I can actually go in and change the line color to red, to blue, to green, however I want it to. But for this video, I'm not going to do that. I will have a video on how to fix and improve this pattern video below, okay? But this is just want to show you that when you open the pattern with Adobe, this is what you get. A bunch of layers and sub-layers. However, if you place the pattern right here, you come in just one layer, which is easier for you to deal with. However, you kind of limited, okay? All right, so go back to next. I'm going to arrange this pattern, okay? First, I'm going to get the pattern that I want and eliminate the pattern that I don't want. To do that, I'm going to come over here to the selection tool, click on it. Then I'm going to, you see by default, it's already selected. If somehow you're not selected, just my key selects that, and then you select the pattern. Then you come over here to crop image, click on it. Okay, and then cropping a link, file, embedded, copy, just click OK. Okay? Then I'm going to, you see right here, this cropping area pop up. Just click on that cropping area, almost like a artboard, but not really artboard. So I'm going to click on this and then drag to get the pattern, all the pattern wherever I want, cover all the pattern that I want, okay? I don't want the first pattern draft. I just want these pattern pieces. When I'm happy with the area that I want to crop, I'm going to press Return Enter on the keyboard to confirm. Okay, so as you can see right here, guys, even though when we select Show Grid Repeat, but actually it's a transparent background, so it won't affect like eat up inks or anything like that. So next, this is what we're gonna do. Okay, so this is kind of pro and con a little bit compared to if you open the file with, you can actually group the file and then you can pick up, arrange, and so forth. However, this file, you have to crop it every pieces and then arrange them on here, okay? So first of all, I'm going to come over here to the view. I want to change the background to transparent, okay? Because the white is hard to see. So I'm going to select show transparency grid, okay? And now we get to see a little better. And by the way, guys, the red line is the bleed line and the black line is the artboard itself, okay? So next, I'm going to crop these pattern pieces. Okay, to crop the pattern pieces, so as you can see earlier, when I crop these pieces, the other pieces disappear. So for us to crop all the pieces, we have to make copy for those pieces, okay? For example, let's count the pattern pieces. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We have to make 10 copies, okay? So I'm going to just press down option all and then click and then drag one, and then I'm going to control or command plus letter D to make copy. So we just have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now we have 10 copies of these patterns, okay? As you can see to the right here, we have layer and layer copies under this one top layer. So these are sub layers right below this layer, okay? So after that, I'm going to crop. I'm going to, once again, guys, I like to work from left to right. So first, I'm going to start right here and I'm going to the cropping tool. Okay, and I'm going to adjust the cropping tool. By the way, leave a little space because we do not want to crop any number on there, okay? So I'm going to press return enter on the keyboard to get that cropping piece. Next, I'm going once again, come over here to the second piece, click on it, then use the cropping tool, adjust to if you want to crop it out like this a little bit, that's okay because we will clean up again later. So I'm going to just leave a little bit of room because I'm going to speed up this process, okay? Okay, so looks like we have many pieces that we already need already, so we don't need to crop the whole 10 pages because I cropped the sleeve with the sleeve cut together as well as this side and right here. And next I'm going to clean up certain area. So this right here looks like we can actually place these both next to each other like that, perfect. And I'm going to just arrange them and then make it fit. Okay, so I'm going to crop this a little more. The same with this side right here. Okay, so when it's come to right here, we can arrange these facing however we like as long as they are fit, because let me crop this one a little more, because we already have the label bias grain on it, so we don't have to worry about either we lay it the way we want it or not. It's just because we already have the label on it, okay? I'm going to make copy of one more right here because I want to crop them apart. Once again, guys, this is for Lando, who actually want to print this whole thing with his plotter, okay? What I'm saying is, if you want to print this out on your home printer, you don't need all the pattern pieces. You just need 1/4, okay? 1/4 of the pattern pieces. Okay, so this is why I cut them in pieces, so we can arrange them better. It's so much easier to actually doing this in CLO, because CLO is more like really almost like automatic create everything for us, which is it's perfect if you have this software like CAD software and stuff that you can open the plotter file and you can print directly from it or to it without have to create your own template right here in Adobe Illustrator, because this is once again guys for people who actually use home printer, home plotter that do not have a lot of resources like at the manufacturer, okay? So let me crop this too. Let me make a copy. Alright, because we do want to make them fit really well, so we don't have to use a lot of paper. That's what I'm trying to do, okay? If you need to zoom in, guys, it's easier to actually see it closer. Okay. Then, hopefully the sleeve fit. If it's not fit, I'm going to rotate the sleeve. Once again, just hover the mouse on the corner right here and rotate it upside down. Yep. Then you can fit the sleeve there. Then right here, I'm going to rotate this as well. Then you can fit this over here if you wanted to. Same here, I'm going to rotate it and then fit it in here. So be sure to not overlap this pattern, nor is the pattern leak out of this artboard, okay? Because Illustrator only print anything on the artboard. If your pattern not on the artboard, it won't print, so it will cut off. And you don't want your pattern to cut off. Okay? Do whatever it takes to fit all the pattern in here. And just like I said, once again, because we imagine this is, we just place all these pattern onto the paper, okay? So let me zoom in to make sure. See right there? right there in the artboard. That's what we want, okay? I'm going to just pan it over here a little bit. This one, not okay. We want it in the artboard. So I'm going to click and then adjust a little bit. So I'm going to just click over here to a little notch there. Super. I'm going to use arrow key to adjust it 1 point by 1 point, guys. And I have a snap to guide on, so that's why I try to it try to like snap to. Let me zoom in a little more to see this is perfect. Okay, done. Once again, I'm going to just adjust this a little more, and I'm going to zoom in. Okay, see right here, right in the artboard, guys. And next I'm going to right here bring it over, and I'm going to rotate this. Make sure the pattern pieces are not overlap, okay? So it looks pretty good, guys. So next I'm going to just zoom in. Don't be shy to just zoom in as close as possible. You can see all the pattern. Okay, this is overlap. We don't want that. So I'm going to come over here to the selection tool, click on it, and adjust it over here to the right, and adjust it a little bit more. So make sure this is not overlap, okay? So next I'm going to export this pattern as a PDF, or you can also save it and then you can print it out from this Adobe or print out from a PDF. No problem, okay? So after that, I'm going to save this file, okay? Go to File, and then I'm going to select Save As, and 24 inches, and I'm going to name Elegant Red Dress. Okay, 24 inches by 119 inches, and in that folder, and the format is Adobe Illustrator, perfect, and I'm going to click on Save. Then I'm going to click on Save once again. Okay, so I hope this video helped Lando, and if you have any questions, please leave the comment below. I promise to get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks, guys. Hi, I'm Rose Billy from encoderfashion. There is more information under this video. Bye!